Yo comrades, so this is the day. I'm finally switching from 37s to 35s. It's gonna be hard to depart from 37s. I got this truck and pretty much 4 months after got a lift and 37s. So I never knew what 35s is like, but my truck came stock with 33s. So I already kind of was on the big tires. Going to North Shore offroad, and let's see before after. Alright, here we're at North Shore. Let's take a mental note again here. What the look is. Let's see here. Okay. So that's it. Let's see it after. Yo. And the tires are in, so it's actually not looking bad at all. Like visually, I was expecting it to be worse, but because these are beefy tires, Nitro Ridge grapplers, 35s, 35-inch, it's actually good. Like front, I can almost barely tell a difference compared to 37s. The back, I can tell a little bit, but that's because my back on airbags is raised up so much higher because of the relocation brackets. But the most important thing is I could fit the rear tire under, and there is about this much space still. I'll show you right now. Alright, so here we are. It works wonderful. So my fear was that this Nitro will rub the truck bar here. So my airbags, rear tire, truck bar. No, it still got almost an inch. So that's good. And but because we kind of lifted it away from that area, here it's completely attached to the hitch here. But it's okay because it doesn't wobble, right? It's fully secured, so no problems here. It's gonna be wonderful. Problem solved. So because I got it under now, I don't actually need this. I'm not gonna throw it out. Potentially, if I really do need it in the future, instead of installing still spending tons of money on a full rear swing out bumper, heavy obviously and expensive, what I could do, and I already confirmed it here with Angela at North Shore, is and like someone suggested on Facebook, drill in the bumper 2 holes here and just fabricate a piece here to go into frame on both sides through the bumper. So then this wobble here becomes non-issue. And yes, this you could clamp together. He said you could install the brass kind of washers later instead of nylon or whatever the hell they had. Clamp it and could potentially kind of resurrect it, but no need right now, so I'm gonna lose it. So here I'll install the shackle. So I'm actually good for Arctic Circle. I really didn't want to spend money on rearranging my setup. The only thing I'm gonna have to do is get Rotopax extensions for the side here. But because the wall here is thin on the outside compared to piping here, I need this much extra space created for 2 packs here to work, because I can only do 2. Once I put second spare tire, so this spare tire is new, that's how I want it. For Arctic Circle, I'll go on Craigslist, buy like $100, 35, probably half-life tire, just empty, just throw it on the roof. Maybe even get a tire with a rim, like just something cheap and used and beaten up, doesn't matter. Put it on the roof and squeeze it more towards the roof pod, and it should fit me 2 Rotopacks on this side. I'm gonna have to do some measurements here. So as usual, the tire is strapped with ratchet straps on the roof. And here's the setup I'm gonna have for a little while. Stacked 2 tires, and I used ratchet strap because I don't have back seats. I just used backseat hooks here, so just under, secured it so it's not gonna fly forward or move around. So until I sell these suckers, I'm gonna be riding like this for a while. Let's do a little walk around again. It's not bad at all. Not bad. Alright, time for my EAV Pocal action. I've used it quite a few times. Get a dongle here. Little dongle, so EAV, you gotta set the pins. Where are they? Where are you? Set pins correctly. I keep forgetting instructions here. Let's see. Yeah, so let's do that. I'm gonna set it to not 35 but 34.7 I think is the latest one. Yeah, so it goes in kind of quarters, I guess. Yeah, so this tire Nitto Extra Grappler 35 is in reality actually 34.84 I think. So the closest probably would be 34.75. I'll adjust pins accordingly. I'll try that, see how it behaves. Maybe I'll switch pins later after riding for a few weeks to you know, like actual 35. See how that behaves. Basically the way I do it to try to narrow down the best setting is at high speeds. I see there is a hunting going on of gearing, so that's like a good indicator that maybe it's still kind of off. Even just switching around not at high speeds, I pay attention for a while at my RPM meter or whatever you call it. So I kind of see if there's any fluctuations. So anyway, I'll do that for a couple of weeks and determine what the best setting is, and MPGs as well, or how many liters each consumes. So now the real test is gonna be driving to camping. I'm actually gonna drive 2 hours. I think maybe Harrison Lake. It's been overused for me for many years, but I actually haven't been at Harrison Lake in like at least half a year or something like that. Not since before Christmas. So gonna go there, chill out, gonna continue working on shelves, and this is actually performance test. I'm gonna see my first impressions, handling, how it starts from the spot at intersections. I should get more torque and fuel consumption, all that. So I didn't get to the highway yet, just drove to Canadian Tire to get this. This is gonna be my new setup for forks, like basically kitchen cutlery, not cutlery, utensils, this stuff. I was thinking, oh, now with all shelves that I've built, I can just do like normal kind of kitchen slide out thing where you put forks, spoons and all that stuff. But I'm like, well, no, it's just gonna be on bumps flying out and stuff. So it's back to toolboxes, but I picked one where I can take out sections. It's gonna fit lots of utensils very nicely. And yeah, it's just lockable, just slide on the shelf, done. But as far as car goes, yeah, so far, just brief jump here from North Shore, I did notice more torquiness. I just slightly press gas and it feels like the car just wants to take off. Like I'm heavy, but because of this engine, 5.7 Hemi, I really felt that torque. So I stopped by at home, pick up some extra planks had left over for my build, because that's the mission for today, is keep building this stuff, well, the shelves on the side. Let's load this stuff up. This is just in case I made a mistake with my measurements and overcut things. In that case, I have spares. Now driving from North Vancouver to Burnaby, that's probably what, 20 kilometers tops, jumping on highway. It does feel torquey. Maybe I still have placebo effect happening. Maybe I'm just wishing it to be torquey and so on. So I'll see in a couple of hour drive right now, and also on the return back home on Sunday. If this placebo is gonna wear off, or there is no placebo, we'll see. It definitely feels, the track feels more powerful so far. I press on gas a little bit, it just takes off, although I'm always in a tow haul mode, because again, heavy. So I just think it's better. So the gears, the switching points, obviously it gives it a little bit more torque. And with 35s, maybe that's why I feel it's even more torqueier. Yeah, so far I'm happy, like especially with tire being under. I don't have to deal with tire care. The only downside, however, is my trasher. I gotten used to it now. It's back to storing garbage in the front seat. So I may need to find a solution somehow. Maybe some kind of garbage bag that can be hung on a tailgate. But at the same time, I can't have it obstruct this space because I need the lid to be tightly closed. So I'm not sure there is a solution out there for some kind of garbage setup like this here. Oh man, I feel excited. It's definitely quite some savings I have here. I don't have to deal with tire care anymore. Just gonna arrange my setup a little bit, sell tires soon, gonna free up all that space, gonna be back to my regular setup. And again, it's full-size truck, right? Like when you have tiny little Toyotas, Tacomas and so on, the space is so tiny, they're like big SUVs kind of thing, that you kind of almost like you do need some kind of carrier to put gas tanks, to put all this stuff on the rear, because like where else are you gonna store it? Whereas on the full-size truck, crew cab, like I got tons of space. And the roof is working out awesome, because that's exactly how I wanted my roof to be. To take any load, I can throw at it, and it really can take, like it's all steel. It's not even aluminum, it's all steel on the frame inside. I can throw anything in there. And that versatility already proved quite a few times. Like I can mount tire in there, I can put boxes in there, I can put whatever the hell in there. Like right now I'm gonna remount rotor packs and all that stuff is gonna live on the roof now. And one good thing about this actually right now is I gained my rear camera back, the lower one, so I can actually park so close to things. For a moment there I thought this upper camera is kind of like a waste now, right? Like extra whatever money at some point I sent, but then I'm like no, hold on a second. As soon as I started driving, because I use this rear camera, it's not just for backing up, it's on all the time. This is my rear view mirror, so nothing's wasted here, it's all good. So I've driven so far 50-60 kilometers roughly, at about 110 kilometers highway speed. At that speed, fortunately, I didn't notice as much difference. Well, there's still difference. So the average comes up to be about 1 mile per gallon I saved. I'm not sure what it is in kilometers. I'll calculate it later. But yeah, so there is that saving. However, below 100 kilometers an hour, around 90, huge gains. I see upwards of like here and there whenever I get to stretches, like I see maybe 3 to 4 gallon decrease I mean, well no, in gallons, yeah, increase. So getting all the way up to 18, even 19 miles per gallon. That's around 90. So right now driving 60, 70, pressing on gas, kind of averaging like 17ish. Let's see, I'll put on cruise control here. With one hand, okay, cruise control. At 65 kilometers an hour, I'm averaging at 22 miles per gallon, flat road. It's definitely at least 3 miles per gallon better. So that's about, let's see, 4, that's roughly 12-liter difference, holy, compared to whatever it is was in kilometers. So I would be getting here at this speed right now, cruise control, probably 14 miles per gallon, 15 tops. Yeah, it's definitely, or like fast highway speed beyond 110 kilometers an hour. or I guess around, what is it, 65? No, that would be, yeah, 65 miles per hour, something like that. Not so big of a difference, but below that, huge difference. Man, as usual, I tried just now on satellite image one of the camps, well, potential dead-end road kind of camping spot by Cultus Lake. Gated, of course, so I'm gonna go to Harris and deploy there. Plan B. But back to the tires, little factoid. So 35s, these 35s, they come only, need to reach grapplers in E load rating, whereas my 37s were D rating. The D rating, they were about 3,500 pounds load at 55 cold. These ones are 3,100 pounds, so less load, but it's E rated. So this is 10 ply versus the D rating were I think 6 ply. I'm not sure what cold PSI for these tires is. I think maybe around 55 as well. Could be even 50, could be even less. I gotta double check. But yeah, so as far as load capacity, a little less, but they're stronger tires, so I don't know. Also 37s, I forgot exact weight, I think it was 81 pounds 37s, whereas 35s E rating 6 pounds less, so that's about 3 kilograms less per tire. That's probably making a difference for sure. Not much, but well, obviously some of it. Oh yeah, installing little hooks here. So shelves are done. Like they're lockable, but because of shakes and stuff, I'm putting the hooks over here like so. Pretty sweet. Yeah, this is all like temporary stuff. This is gonna be my kitchenware here. Let's get stuff. Yeah, stove here. I'll actually build the platform just to like this box. I guess I can move it up to the side or stack on top of like a little platform, like little drawer here as well. But with this and drawer, the stove might be a little too high, so I'll see about that. So I'll finish the little hook blocks and I'll move on to building shelves on this wall right here. My little workspace by the river, so it's pretty sweet. Doing work while camping. I've been a little bit lazy, but the work is continuing. Hooks are done, shelf is coming in. So back to 35s. Coming to camping here, well, first of all, there's nothing like brand new tires. Awesome. The grip, like the grip on rear tires, finally, like I can feel it. It's just like, it just wants to go forward. It's a feeling I didn't have for, well, ever since Baja pretty much. Those rears were done back then. So, awesome grip as always, need to reach grapplers, amazing. Not amazing, but it's nice. There is some other paths here I was taking, like, you know, articulating around the hills and bumps. So I touched something with my front differential cover. I'm not sure if it's 35s or if it was gonna be with 37s, the same. I think there was like a big rock or something. Anyway, like looking at this, yeah, I'm starting to notice a little bit smaller tires, but in general, yesterday hopping around bumps and rocks and stuff, it's just the same thing. I didn't notice anything. So yeah, when I got my truck 4 months after, I went lift and 37-inch tires. I didn't know any difference. So going from stock to 6-inch lift and 37s, it was like, oh my god. When you receive a vehicle from the shop, it's like, holy, it doesn't look the same, especially aggressive tires like this. But now going from 37 6-inch lift to 35 6-inch lift, I really have to look for it to notice differences. It's not a big deal whatsoever. I should have, in fact, based on gas mileage so far, so actually off-road, not off-road, like forestry road. Coming here last night, I was getting a good solid like 14 miles per gallon because it's like nice forestry road. This is damn good. In kilometers, that's about 16 or so liters per 100, which is great for heavy, for 4-ton truck. At this point it's 4 ton. It's great, no problem whatsoever. I should have, like, in my first year of cruising, that first trip series in Moab and stuff, yeah, I probably every inch counted. I probably needed 37s and so on, but ever since vehicle became much heavier, I simply, some stuff I've done in Moab, I just wouldn't take this rig there again, because I don't want repair bills. The rig is much heavier than when it started, and outside of those harder things, I will have no problems with 35s. The mileage, everything, I don't have to worry about transmission much anymore. It's just a good choice. By the way, you probably haven't seen that one before. There's a fan sitting here blowing on wood. On my gathering at Chehalis Lake, we discovered under rain that this little guy did magic burning fire. Wet wood, wet logs, all that stuff. We couldn't keep up making fire all the time. So we just deployed that fan here, which is USB chargeable. Like it works for about 4 or 5 hours, really on max, and then I just charge it from solar or while driving. And because this is big logs right here. Oh, someone's going. These are big logs and I don't have enough wood, so just to keep up the warmth, yeah, it's going. On a little clamp, as you can see, yeah. It is awesome. Hey comrades, don't forget to hit that like button and also leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you should by hitting that subscription button and also bell notification next to it, so you can actually get my video updates both in notification in your video feed, and as well you can support this channel if you like my videos through PayPal or Patreon in the links down below or just after this video.